I'm in London for the week, which means we are going to hit the streets, walk around, and take a look at some of the interesting vehicles, brands, and variations of all different types of cars that we don't get back in North America. Something that I always like to do when walking around a foreign country. So with that in mind, let's hit the streets of London and hope you enjoy some of these car spots. The hottest hatch that AMG have ever made, the A45S. Awesome. The all-electric Mini Aceman. Now here's a really interesting hot hatch we just spotted out here on the streets. This is of course an Abarth 695, but not just any ordinary 695. This is the Tributo Ferrari edition, as you can see there from the badge. This was a limited production model made, of course, in collaboration with Ferrari, and I think there are only 1,200 of these or so. It looks like this one does have some mild modifications, but of course, carrying the famous Ferrari Scuderia shield here at the back in collaboration with Abarth's traditional Scorpion Shield logo and some additional special badging back there. That's really cool to see. These are awesome, rowdy hot hatches, and they made a lot of different variants over the years, but I have never encountered one of these. I assume these were Euro-only models, never made it to the US. Now this is a wild find right here. This is of course a Maybach 6.2, but not just any Maybach 6.2, it's the Zeppelin model, which was an ultra-luxury, high-spec version limited to 100 units, still featuring the V12 engine, of course. But that is wild. One of those cars you almost wonder if it truly is even out there still, because I've never seen these. I mean, you hardly ever see an original Maybach 6.2 anymore in general, but this is the Zeppelin model. That is so cool. They also had Zeppelin variants of the 5.7, but the 6.2 Zeppelin was basically the ultimate Maybach 6.2, short of the Landaulet model. Look at that massive Bentley Mulsanne extended wheelbase. Looks like probably a Mulliner spec model. In front of a Bentayga First Edition, also looks to be long wheelbase by the looks of it. Spotted a rare performance Audi out here, the RS Q3 Sportback. Basically the RS3 powertrain, 5-cylinder engine dropped into Audi's small crossover and in the Sportback body style here. Very cool. And then beyond that, we see another interesting car. That is a Peugeot Ion, basically their rebadged variant of the Mitsubishi i-MiEV that we had for a period of time in the States. So weird. So I found a 997 Targa 4, one of the rarer Targas from before they went back to the traditional Targa bar design. Always cool to see those. But then something unique to England here, we have an Overfinch Range Rover Evoque. Overfinch is the UK-based firm that does custom crazy builds, frequently for Range Rovers. You normally see them in the full-size Range Rovers and Range Rover Sports, but I've never seen one before for the Evoque. But there it is. That's pretty cool. Found the current generation of the Peugeot 208, a phenomenal looking city hatch, next to Volkswagen's first ID electric car, the ID3. We got the big boy Mercedes S-Class Maybach, the S680 with the V12. Don't see those too often. Is there anything more British than spotting a brand new Rolls-Royce Phantom 8 out here on the tight city streets, next to a Ferrari F8 at that? This is the Citroën C4 Picasso MPV. The van market in Europe is very competitive, and that includes electric variants, which is essentially what we're looking at here. It's the Mercedes-Benz EQV, their electric version of the V-Class series of vans. Love these things. This is the Suzuki Ignis, sort of a lifted city hatchback with very interesting styling all around. I think it's pretty cool. Look at this Volvo notchback thing. It's the 340 DL. I really don't know anything about this. I assume it's diesel with the name, but that's pretty funky. The famous Toyota Previa minivan lived on in Europe and other markets, known as this vehicle here, the Toyota Estima van. This is the California camper variant of Volkswagen's Transporter van. Very cool. You can see the fold-away awnings that are up there above the windows, next to one of the new MG crossovers, the HS, of course. MG, the famous British marque, now still producing vehicles under their parent company by the Chinese firm. I forget which one it is exactly, but they are basically cranking out all new different types of crossovers, hatchbacks, and sedans lately. And here's one of them. A lot of them are hybrid and electric. This cute little thing is the Citroën Amy, basically an electric golf cart with bodywork. Single doors, opposite opening on either end, and the little tiny windows. Looks basically the same front to back. It's got a little minuscule powertrain to give it a very small electric range, and perfect for just kind of running around the city. As you can see here, this apartments company is using it, I guess, for one of their vehicles. And this is also shared with the Fiat Topolino and the Opel Rox E. A pink Nissan Figaro spotted. Amazing. Found the smaller electric Mercedes crossover, the EQA. Basically just the electric GLA crossover. Here we have the Citroen Relay, another version of the Ram ProMaster that is sold out here in Europe. Found an original Boxster Spider, the 987 generation, in front of the Volkswagen ID7, their latest electric sedan that they decided not to bring over into America, in front of a Land Cruiser Prado. Look at that Brabus G-Wagon. Here's one of Kia's newer EV cars that hasn't yet arrived in the States, the EV5 crossover, looking like basically a scaled down version of the EV9. Now this is a pretty weird find. It's a Vauxhall Astra panel van, VXR, or at least its badge is a VXR, and based on the wheels and the extended arches there, I think it actually is. If so, that's a properly bizarre find here. A bright green Volkswagen Scirocco R-Line, love those.